Hi, I'm Alex. Welcome to my channel and to this practice for the spine and the chest today, which could serve you in any number of ways given the time of year. It's winter here. We've just had a week of low temperatures and snow. And that in itself, just the coldness of the month or the season, can introduce tension into the body, especially when we're not wrapped up warm. But whether we've just got out of bed and it's colder and our bodies are tighter, whether you sit for your job and that affects your posture, whether the winter months are not for you because of the darker nights and that kind of heavier lack of sun element, or maybe even the winter bugs that fly around. All of these things introduce tension into the body and have the similar effect in that we contract, the shoulders come up, we hunch over a little bit. So this is going to help us open out into those areas and introduce a little bit of movement. While we might all start in the same way, it's invitational. So if there's something in particular that you like or you feel like your body needs more of, please do stick with that. For the time that we're going to spend on it, you can take it into a longer practice. You can just repeat it later on because you know that your body is going to enjoy that at the moment. If you are sat like this and it's maybe not so comfortable, you could pop yourself up onto a block or a cushion. It's not going to be restrictive to this movement, but just bear in mind if you are sitting in a different way, your experience of that movement might be very different to mine. So we're just going to start seated and with some spinal waves. So just waving from side to side, we're going to aim to keep the bottom planted, so the hips and everything kind of fairly static, and just taking that movement through the spine. Nice wide waves to begin with. So sometimes we start small and we build up, but we're going to go the opposite way around here and just take big waves from side to side, and we're going to make them smaller until we come a little bit more to stillness in the center. So you might check in on your naturally tighter side. Mine is my left side. I've also had an injury there in the past. So any form of tension, whether it's mental stress or physical stress, that's where I notice it first. So come to a little bit of stillness. We are just going to connect with the breath momentarily. Then it's up to you if you choose to take it into any of the movement, just because this breath practice does help activate the muscle groups closest to your spine. So while we're working on introducing fluidity of movement, we also want to work on the integrity a little bit as well. So just finding some length through the spine, maybe rolling the shoulders a little bit. You can also bring the hands to the belly if you like. But on the inhale, just draw down through into the belly, just invite a little bit of softness. And on the exhale, just connect and imagine you're drawing up from the pelvic floor and then hugging into center as you wave long through the spine. So inhale, find some softness. Exhale, draw in, up and connect. This helps us connect to that deep core line, that long, unbroken chain of muscle that runs from the feet all the way up to the tip of your tongue and helps keep a healthy spine, strong engagement of course. Take one more. And then release with those small spinal waves. So then we're going to move into circles. So we're not traveling too far on our mat. We're only going to go to hands and knees next, so you don't have to worry about lots of movement here. It isn't always the case that more is needed. Sometimes we slow down and listen. So I'm rolling forwards just because naturally that's where my body went as I was talking, but we're going to take a complete circle now. So as I come back, I'm just rounding out through the upper back and shoulders, dropping my chin a little bit, and then coming forwards, maybe a little bit of extension into the spine, lifting the chest, lifting the gaze. And I might work with my breath there if I want to. So if I wasn't talking, I might breathe in as I come forwards, and as I connect and hug in, I might round out the upper back and shoulders. And then I'm going to come the opposite way. And you might notice some little crunches, some little clicks. And they are what they are. But the movement will be good to just allow those to ease. You're going to free it off any way that you want to. I'm going to take some circular movement, introducing the arms and opening out through the chest a little bit here. So just going to bring the fingertips down to the floor. Just come over to one side, doesn't matter which, I'm right side, and just sweep the opposite arm down in front of you. So just drawing the arm down and around. And I'm going to keep it quite small to begin with. And then open it out and maybe just draw the elbow back a little bit. And release, and then we're going to take it over to the opposite side. It's up to you how deep and how wide you go. Finding a way to pause, maybe drawing it back, or if you want to, you can reach the arm overhead and just bring it all the way back down. From here, draw the arms up, maybe with the breath. Inhale to reach, exhale, take a little twist. And inhaling as you come back through center and over to the opposite side. So again, just keeping it nice and fluid. This is not about holding a shape. If you want to hold it, that's okay too. That just means you're taking a moment to pause and listen and maybe give the body what it needs. One last time, back through center and just circle the arms out. So we're going to take a little bit of chest movement here and work with the chest and the upper back at the same time. So in a movement that's called breath of freedom, take a breath in as you lift the chest, lift the gaze, take the arms out wide, allow the shoulders to drop. Breathing into the front line of the body. And then as you exhale, rounding out through the upper back and shoulders, so that you can breathe into the back line of the body. I'll show you from the side for this last one so you can see what the spine is doing. So inhale, open and lift. As you do your next one, try and remember to bring the opposite arm on top, round out and contract. And open and release. That sets me up for our next movement, which is just coming onto the hands and knees. So knees underneath the hips, and just begin by taking some waves, some rolls. You might focus on the shoulders, you might focus on the hips. I have a tendency to draw back here, but sometimes you might be kind of into center and working on the rolls there, or you might be into the shoulders. There's no right or wrong. It's your freedom of expression based on what your body might need. And then we're just going to take that into a little bit of a more fluid cat and cow movement. So pressing through into those fingertips, soften the elbows, lift the chest, lift the gaze. And as you exhale, soften and hug in and up. So similar movements in different ways. We'll just take one more. And then from here, we're going to take this into, I'm going to use puppy pose, but make it moving. So you're going to take the fingertips out and come up onto very active finger pads, keeping the bottom lifted. I'm going to take a wave through the spine. So imagine doing a halfway lift. So lift the belly, wave the spine long. And then as you exhale, allow the chest to sink towards the earth. And rather than resting down, just find that wave through the spine, so dropping into extension. Inhaling as you rise, maybe exhaling as you release. And on this last one, we might settle into one long breath as you release the hands down, elbows come down, maybe the head comes down, breath in, and release it out. And you can draw back towards your heels. Just take a momentary child's pose, maybe rock from side to side. And then come back to seated. Bear with me, just lost my microphone for a second. Hopefully not too much interference. And I just want to seed a little thought in with you. So it doesn't take very long to do the rolls and to explore and just to slow down and to listen. It might not be the most exciting practice, but it's one that gets you really connected to what's going on in your body. Might even give you an idea of what movement would work for you. Maybe going for a long walk if it's kind of mental stress outside in nature. Maybe you feel like you need a little bit more of a longer flow practice or something else, whatever it might be. But in these winter months, when we have got a lot going on, when there's a lot of tension going on in the chest, these balls are really, really good to very effectively and quickly eliminate stress and help you open out. And could be a tennis ball, could be a yoga ball like I've got, could be a ball that you buy your dog, like a bouncy ball, a couple of quid. Doesn't matter what it is, but you just take it, and we're working with the connective tissue and just working into the pectoral muscles and into the muscles around the chest and the heart. So where we sometimes struggle to breathe, whether, whatever the reasons, whether it's postural or stress or something else, that's where that tension accumulates. And it's not that you can't breathe a little bit deeper, it's just that whatever's been going on naturally creates a barrier and a restriction. So this is a really good way to kind of take the barrier down. And also in here, if you've been suffering with bugs or you've been run down, that's where our thymus gland is, which supports our immune system. So you can take it into the sternum, into center, and just kind of rub it out there. But you can also do this with your fingers, but the ball is really, really effective. So if you haven't tried it before, I recommend it in a winter practice for sure. I hope you enjoy exploring the movement in the spine today. Take care, and I will see you next time.